Hello my friends, this is Maltanan speaking. Today I've prepared for you something really useful. I think it's a tip rather than a tutorial, but I hope you will still enjoy it. I'm going to show you how to create this cool golden ramp. Well, not exactly, because it's rather easy because there's a preset to do that, but the whole idea about this technique is how to get a ramp effect on the text layer, because as you can see, when I move the text, the ramp stays in the same position. And maybe you already know, maybe if you faced this problem before, let me just show you what happens if I apply a ramp effect to a text layer. Ramp. See, notice the start of the ramp and end of the ramp points. They are positioned at the top and at the bottom of the comp layer, and they shouldn't. They should be placed at the top of the text and at the bottom of the text. And even if I position them like that manually, still when I drag the text, the ramp stays in the same position. So this is pretty troubling when you have a lot of text to do in your animation, like titles or whatever, and you have to reposition everything each time you move a text layer or, whatever. So I'm going to show you a quick way to fix that, and we're going to build a preset that is called text ramp, which I built for myself some time ago. Let me just show you how that works. Ta-da! And right now when I move the text, everything goes along, and I can also use colorama to change the ramping effect to anything I want, and then I can just create a cool background like so, put it below of course, and then use the circle effect, which I'm going to cover in my next tutorial. I'm going to spend the whole tutorial talking only about the circle effect, which I use a lot. It's the next plugin that I use most commonly next to the fractal noise effect, I think. And yeah, that's basically it. This is how we're going to create this. So let me just close this down, and let's build the preset from scratch. So we create a new comp, we add a new text that we can work with, golden ramp, and move to full res, of course. So the basic idea is to somehow measure the height of the text. Unfortunately, there's no way to get the size of the text from this attribute. At least there's nothing that I found so far. In these options, you don't have the size of the text available anywhere for expressions. So basically we're going to estimate or just simply type in a average value for the text of some height. You can do it on your own, or just simply change it afterwards, after applying the preset, I mean. Okay, enough talking, let's get to the point. So let's apply the ramp effect. Ta-da! Okay, but we already know that's not enough, so let's create a new point slider. Point controller, sorry, and I'm using point only because we need to have two values that we can control, and we could of course use two sliders, but instead I'm going to use the point controller because it's more convenient to have one controller instead of two, right? So that's basically it. Let's call this position and spread, like so. And let's initialize this with values of 20 and 1. It's going to be more convenient to work that way, at least for now. And let's go down to the ramp effect itself. Okay. And we're going to type some expressions. We can close this down for now. And we're going to change the start of the ramp and the end of the ramp. So let's alt-click and create a new expression. First, we need to get the values from the position and spread parameter. So let's just create a new value, PS, for position and spread. And let's point to the controller. That's it. And now we're not going to alter the X position. We're only going to change the Y position. Therefore, you're not going to be able to achieve angled gradients, angled ramp, only vertical. You can change it if you want, of course. And of course, you can also use layer styles if you're working with CS3 version or my gradient overlay preset from the tutorial called Photoshopping in After Effects, I think. But this is, just for the quick usage. It will cover most of the cases, I think. Okay, let's move forward. So X is going to be whatever it is, right? So let's set it to value 0, which is the first value of this parameter that we're modifying, which in fact is the X position, which is now set to 250. And Y should be position of this layer, so position, which will be the position of the anchor point, and we have to subtract the position parameter, which is this, from our controller. So this is PS and the first value of the PS, and then we have to subtract the spread and the half of the spread, I think, the half of the spread value. So PS 1 divided by 2. And now let's simply apply those values to the start of the ramp, like this. Oh yeah, how stupid of me, of course. Y position on the Y-axis, so like this. And we can already see that the start of the ramp is positioned somewhere in the middle of the text layer. And we basically do the same for the end of the ramp, like so. So I'm just going to paste it in, but instead of subtracting, in this point we're going to add. So basically the first part of the equation estimates the center based on this parameter, of course. So this estimation may be different for different size of the text, but this is why we have this parameter, right? So we can change it. And then in the start of the ramp we're moving upwards, so subtracting the half of the spread parameter, and at the end of the ramp we're going downwards, so we're adding half of this spread parameter. And that's basically it. As you can see, since the spread is now set to 1, then the whole ramp looks like this. We can now change it. As you can see, it works pretty well. And we can spread the ramp like this. And now if we move the layer, it all sticks pretty well. And what about this golden look? We simply apply colorama, which I like to keep in this preset. And we have to change the modify and modify alpha. We have to uncheck that. And we can change the output cycle to golden 1, for example. And this is exactly how this preset that I showed you at the beginning works. Now just simply select all the parameters, drag them onto your effects and preset palette, and name it whatever, text ramp, like I did. Yes, overwrite please. And that's basically it. You're ready to go. And remember how I said you won't be able to do the angled ramps? Well, I lied. Because what you can do is you can simply move one of the parameters. But I don't recommend it because this preset is pretty simple and it's not designed to work with the angled values. Because right now when we're going to move it, it's not going to be exactly what you want every time. So basically try to keep those values the same, 0 and 0, for example. That will be, good, I think. And let's set the spread to 1, position it like this, and then just spread it a little bit more. So that's it. I hope you found this one useful. Make sure to leave a comment on my website and just visit me from time to time. That's all for today. See you later. Happy After Effecting. Cheers.